Minimalist, Never Touched the Stuff, and Remarkable Agent are 3 different achievements in Resident Evil Requiem. The first involves never healing with med injectors or Snoop Dogg's Chronic, and the second involves completing the game without touching the blood collector as Grace. This means no crafting health, ammo, or ink ribbons which are required to save. These 2 achievements together turn Resident Evil Requiem into Resident Evil Recession Indicator. Doing these together is already an interesting time, since they change how you need to approach the game. But when you add in the 3rd achievement for doing the entire game on insanity, you get a challenge that would make even a seasoned masochist maul himself into a frustration coma of the highest order. Oh my fucking god, I hate everything. Everything ever. I fucking hate it all. Hooray. God damn it. To ensure this Trifecta challenge isn't too easy, I'll be going into this with only 1 full playthrough under my belt and no access to anything infinite. That said, I will be purchasing a few special content items, namely Freya's Needle for Grace and the Clatter Carbine alongside the modded tactical tracker for Leon. These will be helpful, but they will not make the following self-nut punch of a run that much easier. Now, regardless of what awaits me in the future, the first 10 minutes of the run involved a crash course in gross negligence by the FBI and an attempt to get the hang of third-person controls for Grace. These combined had Grace running herself into the grippy hands of Slytherin's live mascot, Victor. When this happens, I get control of Leon, still kicks ass Kennedy, where I immediately learn the consequences of going into a level 5 biohazard with nothing more than my devilish good looks. All right. And we already got bit. That's not good. Okay, I think that we're gonna count that as our first death. Still don't know why she decided to make out with him. Well, she just wanted his nose. Haven't you ever seen that Games Then? Oh, I just poked. Oh, fuck. I poked myself in the eye trying to do I got your nose. Despite nearly blinding myself during the first 15 minutes of the game, my problems were only going to get worse. During this run, I'm not allowed to return to good health at will. This means I need to get through most of the game without sustaining any unnecessary damage. Leon does have the unique ability to parry almost anything with his hatchet, which makes avoiding most damage not entirely terrible, but danger did seem to find me pretty frequently. After 17 resets, I was past the Leon section that was supposed to be a footnote in the scope of the run, and this success threw me into the first section that posed any sort of danger for Grace. After grabbing the first of only 14 ink ribbons in the entire game, which are the only ways to save as Grace without the blood collector, I did 2 important things. First, I watched myself forget to grab the second ink ribbon out of a drawer in this office. Then I learned that third-person mode is absolutely diabolical when playing as Grace. I'm stuck on a door. I'm stuck on a door. Oh, she's coming. She's coming. Go, go, go. Yeah, Grace, you moron. Stop getting stuck on a door frame. Oh, shit. Oh my god. While the third-person view does give Grace a good 360 degrees of vision, it also leads to her losing her head due to falling on the floor and running into door frames. So from here on out, Operation Survive as Grace is an FPS. This revelation happened just in time to get back control of Leon, who's currently searching for Grace. But he doesn't know that she's upstairs fighting a fish woman. Fortunately for Leon still has impeccable timing Kennedy, he showed up at the exact moment that the diarrhea was about to hit the fan. Unbeknownst to Leon, I used an entire can of Axe body spray on him. And everyone wanted a piece, just like that one commercial that nobody brings up anymore. The more important aspect of this area is that I need to get through this encounter without taking any damage. If so much as a droplet of spit from these bird flu infested bastards gets on my dapper fit, I need to restart from the checkpoint. This very quickly became an entire ordeal on its own. Don't get chainsawed. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. Oh my god. I'm just gonna reset. We should do this deathless or hitless at the beginning here. Line up with the girl. Line up. Oh, no! Oh, what are you doing? Okay, restart. Can I bait her into grabbing me? No, I can't, apparently. Don't do it. She's gonna throw it. Oh my god. Yeah, that's right, babe. Oh my god, he's picking up the chainsaw behind me. No, 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 no. Don't grab me, bro. There's more. I know there's more zombies here, but we didn't get hit. Oh, do it, bro. I dare you. I dare you. Oh. Shouldn't have dared him. I shouldn't have dared him. I shouldn't have dared him. The zombies on Insanity are strong in their own right, but when they get a hold of the chainsaw, it's like they're injected with the same stuff Bane used in the Arkham games. This made this encounter one of the most dangerous games of lumberjack keep away that's ever been caught on camera. And it wasn't even safe to pick this thing up. Wait a minute. Oh my, dude. The chainsaw attacking your feet unmanned like a goddamn poltergeist is behind the wheel is diabolical. If I ever managed to grab the chainsaw, there was a 50% chance that I could turn these guys into a carved turkey without getting damaged, and a 50% chance they would clip me while I was revving up my damage dealer. This meant the chainsaw was a weapon I couldn't use reliably, and it gave the zombie who wielded it access to COD 4 Juggernaut with a Leatherface moveset. This guy's the polka dot man. Just die, bro. This guy has the goddamn... No. Oh my God. If they pick up the chainsaw, it's like being injected by the Infinity Stones. This is crazy. Getting through this encounter without taking any damage took almost 40 whole attempts, and it was the perfect introduction to the tedium of the Trifecta challenge. That said, we do celebrate these wins, even if it's embarrassing. Let's fucking go, baby! 55th try, write that down. Now, we also don't want to get hit because there's no autosave. The reward for almost first trying that encounter is seeing where Leon and Grace's stories intersect. And it moves us into the first Grace section that's genuinely going to require a plan. First things first, I made sure I had the important items. These are Freya's needle and the single Requiem shot that Leon gave me. The overall plan here is to attempt to avoid almost every enemy in the care center while opening up all the possible doors. Leon will come through here later, and I can use him to take out all the zombies. This will let me pick up all the items as Grace when I return. Since I'm not using the blood collector, my limited saves are going to be optimized for minimal time loss, since replaying long stealth sections will literally drive me crazy. This is why I chose to make my first save prior to killing my first zombie. I'm gonna make my first save right now, only because I think it's gonna be annoying to do that again if I get hit by this enemy over here. So I think I'm gonna have to kill this guy on the stairs. Jesus, buddy. Okay, so that's our first kill. Grace has drawn blood. Now we avoid combat. In the upper halls, I needed to avoid all the zombies so I could make it into the admin office and grab my first of 3 cubes that are needed to leave the hospital. And the order I get these makes a huge difference in the overall level of pain. Also, while I was here, I snatched a big-ass treasure box for my troubles. One thing I didn't anticipate up here was the second zombie that I was gonna need to kill to unblock my way into the main hall. Sure, I could have backtracked, but the zombie rotations change at this point, and I didn't want to risk getting hit, which is why I decided to use my second save now. Which was a great decision, by the way, because I literally got hit 21 seconds after saving, and then again a minute after that last bite. Both of these resets happened while getting the key card that opens up the other half of the foyer, which I need to progress the game. So on my third attempt, I grabbed it and escaped with surgical precision. Okay, yeah, Macca's in Australia. Okay, I feel like I've heard that before, so I wasn't sure. Maybe he won't see me. No fucking way. No way. Oh, absolutely deked, buddy. Broke his ankles, and I gotta hope there's no one-armed scientist out here. Legendary movement, apparently. Kind of wish I could save now, but we can't because we just saved. Now, before I figure out what to do with that information, let me share a word from this video's sponsor, Vitcher and the Beast XR glasses. If you're like me, then you recently bought a very expensive handheld that you want to use in cool new ways, which is exactly what Vitcher is helping me do. These glasses come with unmatched visual power, and honestly, it needs it considering it uses Sony's latest micro OLED technology combined with a 58-degree field of view, 4K-like resolution, and up to 1250 nits for crystal clear viewing even in bright environments. Not to mention, there is no glare or reflections, so you can literally game or work anywhere you want.
What are you doing? The Beast also boasts some impressive ultra-low latency 3DOF motion tracking built directly into the glasses. This means you can pin a screen to a fixed position in space with the anchor mode, or you can leverage the smooth follow so the screen glides with your view. Regardless of the mode you choose, there is 32:9 ultra-wide mode, and some sick dynamic tint control for a one-of-a-kind experience. On top of this, the Beast contains some seriously magic technology in the form of their 2D to 3D conversion tech. This revolutionary engine can take your favorite media and turn it into a room-filling experience in real time. If you want to get your hands on these super cool glasses, you can do so by clicking my link in the description and using code BASEMENT for 10% off everything. Thanks again to Vitcher for sponsoring my suffering. And speaking of, let me show you what happened next. With the East Wing keycard acquired, the rest of the map really starts to open up, and the number of zombies that I have to deal with has almost tripled, which is exactly why I saved my single Requiem shot.
It's a fake save. 10. Oh, wait, these guys. 3. Oh, baby, a strike. I always knew I was fucking born to bowl, baby. Little clam jam on top of the dead fellas here. All right, I'm free.
Taking out the 3 enemies there actually gives me a huge amount of space in the back halls of the care center. You'll see why this is useful later. But for now, I'm going to avoid getting the second puzzle cube over here since it will spawn much more difficult enemies everywhere. This also happens to be where you get introduced to Chunk while getting the level 1 security bracelet. He's a roaming tumor that I literally cannot kill with what I have. So my goal is to avoid him, which I was unable to do. And now I have the pleasure of redoing everything since that last save.
How far back are we? What did we not do? Anything over here? I don't have the key card. The last time we saved was in here. Fuck, okay. I think that might be about 30 minutes, but I also dicked around and we were talking.
I ended up having to replay this section a few more times, since some of the enemies in this difficulty just do not want to die, and they can lunge the entire distance of Canada to get a bite in.
Lady, line up. Okay, I don't know if they're gonna die, but that's pretty good. What?
I was eventually able to make my great escape from the East Wing unscathed, but that was unfortunately the last time I'll be at full health as Grace for the entire game. You see, in the West Wing, I got hit by a zombie that was guarding the garage door. Since I have no ammo now, I literally can't kill this guy. So as a result, I have to accept this first bit of permanent damage as Grace. Having officially taken damage, my margin of error went from 10% to 1%, which is why I spent the next hour slowly creeping around the care center collecting all the required items to get the next puzzle cube. The main item I needed to get this was the level 2 security bracelet, which does require killing a zombie to get. Thankfully, you can actually wait this guy out in the main lobby and he eventually dies from exposure or something. So once I grabbed the bracelet, I ended up making my next save, which is going to end up being important. Here's the plan. I need to follow this red path all the way through the East Wing using the level 2 bracelet, which will lead me to the level 3 bracelet. I will then come back to the save room so I can grab Emily with my level 3 clearance. Then I need to take Emily all the way back to where I got the level 3 bracelet so she can help me get the puzzle cube. While I'm doing this, I stopped at this closet and grabbed an RIP knife, which is going to be the sole reason I can get through this area since it does crazy damage to the enemies. Now, once I had Emily, I made another save, and it's because things get tricky here since I'm completely defenseless while carrying her across the building. And since I can't kill the enemies ahead of time, I needed to find a solid route where I wouldn't take damage. After 8 attempts, I finally understood what it meant to be one with the shadows. And this revelation came to me when I realized that the enemies actually had a set path that they followed every time I entered the East Wing. This meant I could stand just barely out of sight and take the openings as they came reliably. This allowed me to get into the isolation ward for the second hardest segment in all of Grace's section of the game. So the main issue here is I need to protect Emily while she plays Tactile Where's Waldo to get the second puzzle cube. This means Grace needs to take on 4 zombies in the other room, which is a problem if you remember that I don't really have any ammo.
Brother, calm down. Well, now I'm out of ammo. Do you heal back up to caution? Or do you just stay in a state of fucked? All right, what's in this room over here? Ammo. Please tell me you... Oh my God, you stay in danger. I think I'm screwed here, dude. Love the patience out of this guy to corner camp me. Like he's in third person mode and then grab me.
It was clear that beating this was gonna require getting all the additional items I could find if I was gonna break the rules and have a 5-some in the isolation ward, which is exactly what caused me to die a few more times. Previously, I had actually missed a few important doors that had great items behind them, and I had decided not to go and get them because I was out of saves, and it would add 3 to 5 minutes per attempt if I wanted to get the items. That's why that earlier save was important. It fucked everything up, or at least I thought it did. You see, the pantry has more than just food in it. The final save in this section of the game is in that room. So I launched Operation Cheese Curd to unlock the pantry and get access to the final save.
Okay, my goal is to try to get into the pantry and grab the ink ribbon. Okay, so there's 2 zombies in there. I'm gonna waste a bottle, I think, to try to get them out. Think they'll hear this? That might have been a waste. Think it's like right here. If I slow walk in when this guy turns around, can I get the tin? Come with me, bro. Holy shit, that worked. 3 knives, a thing to hurt people, a save, and 44 bullets. Hopefully that means it's doable. I'm sorry for the pain that we're about to experience.
With my save acquired, I was ready to attempt this holdout again with a little more confidence than before. Fortunately, there was a conveniently placed window in the office that I was able to attack the zombies through. Now, the problem was that I had remarkably little stunning power due to the fact that I had neglected grabbing the pistol since I had the SMG. So when a zombie decided to run it down, I literally had no way to stop them from getting me without shooting like 15 bullets. Between scavenging for loot and getting Superman punched through the window by an administrative assistant, it took me over 20 restarts. But I was eventually able to get through this area. Except I did it by taking one too many beatdowns.
I don't know if we get a heal here. If there's no heal, I think I have to restart.
Yeah, that's exactly what I ended up doing. Going into literally the rest of the game, one Lego stomp away from death was just not gonna happen. Which meant I was back into holdout hell for at least an hour before I managed to avoid every flailing limb in the ER. Jesus fucking Christ, I hate you. Okay, fuck it. I'm killing one of these guys with a gun. I'm not doing this anymore. Okay, that was way too many bullets, but I don't give a fuck. I know there's ammo still in one of these rooms. Fuck you. Grab the ammo. Oh no! Come on. I'm not getting close so you can leap, you fucking psycho. Fuck yeah! I'm coming! By the time I was finished with this holdout, and Emily was whisked away by the final boss version of Gollum, I was ready for a bit of a break, which is exactly what I'd call this next section of the game. It's finally time to play as Leon again, which means I get to spend all my hard-earned tracking points on buying and upgrading really big guns, and then I get to use said guns to pump every shade of blubber full of lead. Now, the thing about doing Leon's section of the care center is that it's actually pretty easy, even though I did catch a few hits that forced me to restart. My objective here is to sneak around the entire hospital and assassinate all the zombies so Grace can go room to room and pick up all the items when she's back here later in the game. This process also included getting revenge for everyone's ears. Wait, can I assassinate her? Oh, thank God. Shut up!
Sorry to cut your act short.
That was way cooler than what I said. Not only does this process clear out the hospital for Grace, it also gives me a massive amount of points so I can buy all the upgrades I need, like body armor. Since playing as Leon turns this area into the easiest part of the game, there isn't much to say here. And this means I'm definitely not going to talk about the amount of time I spent failing to kill the last enemy in the building. We'll just breeze past that part and say blisterhead enemies suck. By the time I had finished clearing out all the enemies and picking up all the loot, I was ready to return to Grace, who was now in the basement looking for Emily and the second puzzle cube. Unlike my basement, this place was damp, dark, and disgusting. And to get out of here as fast as possible with Emily, I need to find 3 joint plugs that can be used to restart the power. An unexpected consequence of this spelunking adventure is that the she-golem is on my ass when the lights go out. This section really isn't that long if you know where to go. I'm not saying I know where to go. What the fuck? Since when? I'm just gonna hope she doesn't see me. She does. We're dead. Okay. Surviving in this basement requires absolute patience. And my current problem is twofold. I don't have the blood collector, so I can't craft Grace's stealth kill items, and I don't have a lot of ammo, so I can't kill the zombies that wake up after I trigger certain objectives. This meant I was gonna need to utilize all my lethal and non-lethal options to even have a shadow of a chance at getting all the joint plugs, which meant I needed to start testing. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. This is the test. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, now they're both up. The zombie problem got worse. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I made it past. That's a start. I wasted 16 bullets to not kill that guy. Hell yeah. On top of testing different Rambo strats, I also used a special finishing move I saw someone use in university. It's called the Drunkard, and you do it by tossing a bottle at someone who's unaware, and then you hit him with the I'm just kidding shiv so you can get past. These effective and not so effective strategies ultimately led me to my 3rd joint plug. But first, I need to do arguably the hardest part in the game for Grace. The meat grinder. The reason I said this is arguably the hardest section for Grace is because preparation can eliminate almost all the problems I'm about to outline. First things first, the SMG doesn't have the power to stagger zombies in a few shots, which means I don't have enough ammo to stop them from eating me. And when it comes to killing them quickly with a knife, I ran out of my RIP knife. And that shitty makeshift knife has a 100% mortality rate when used by itself. Also, it's important to point out that Grace is deathly allergic to fire, so my one and only Molotov can actually be a liability. Jesus. I hate you. I hope your whole fucking family is having a great time as zombies. This is starting to sound a bit impossible, right? Well, it was definitely feeling that way when I was playing it. Here's what I ended up learning to make this possible. If you knife the first zombie when he's getting up, he will get sucked into the grinder 100% of the time. And when the rest of the zombies are still on the ground, they actually take full damage from hits. So you can kill them before they even stand up if you know which are the ones that come to life. Knowing this will also let you kill 2 of them with a Molotov without being near the splash zone. The final important piece of tech that I learned here was that swinging your knife can hit more than 1 zombie at a time. So with correct slashes, I can effectively double the DPS to downed zombies. So with all these strats, you'd probably think that I made it through this, right? Wrong. Without being able to heal or craft, I do not have the resources to get past this point. I am effectively soft-locked, and I have 2 options. Option 1 is to reload a save before the Emily holdout to get the pistol and the other rip knife. And then I would replay everything up until this point. Or option 2, I could just time travel. You see, the special content items are effectively account-wide. So if you unlock one, it will be unlocked on all your saves regardless of when they were made. And the completion points work the same way. So in theory, If I could earn 1,500 completion points on one of my saves, I could unlock the Rugged Rookie Charm for Grace and increase her gun damage on all of my saves. I prepared for this eventuality. You see, there's an achievement that awards 10,000 points for collecting 5,000 samples of blood that I missed on my first playthrough. But earlier, I grabbed a bag of blood and left it in my item box. So if I go and snag the blood collector in this earlier timeline, I can repeatedly consume the blood and reload my save to build up my account-wide blood collection, which will eventually pop an achievement and award me the completion points that I need to purchase the charm. Achievement! And now we have our challenge complete. We can buy the Rugged Rookie Charm for Grace. Now we can jump to the future. The replaying the stealthy parts of the gameplay, not my thing, but getting the Rugged Rookie Charm, not bad. Oh yeah, see, 0 used. Haven't used it. Never touched the stuff here. I'm a minimalist. If you think this negates the validity of the run, I understand, but you can take it up with Doc Brown while I go back to the future and play on Grinder again. This excursion to the past was exactly what I needed to get through this. My shots killed much quicker, and the few RIP knife hits that I had left did great work when I was cleaving the enemies. So does that mean this upgrade made the encounter easy by taking away all the challenge? No, I wouldn't say so, considering I finished the fight with only 4 bullets remaining. That was the margin of error after getting the charm. So just think about that. It was close. After all that, I was able to rescue Emily from the Hills Have Eyes, and then we returned to the surface so I could collect the remaining puzzle cubes alongside the items that I missed prior to Leon's massacre. When I eventually picked up all the loot, I was able to unlock the door to the courtyard, and Emily and I were able to exit the care center for good. This wasn't the end of the horrors, of course. But to keep Emily isolated from the evil residents, I left her with a nice man who said he could get us out of here if I found his helicopter keys in this creepy shed and brought them back. Since I'm a side quest warrior, I was used to this kind of task. And after venturing into the underground laboratory to acquire the keys, I picked up an extra miscellaneous objective tied to being a voluntary firefighter, which overall didn't cause many issues, even if there was a close call. I need to be careful here. How the fuck did we not get hit there? I'm him. I am him. Unfortunately, my side quest proficiency didn't stop our helicopter from going down after a couple of stowaways boarded the chopper. But since Leon is watching over Grace, these types of problems go from this is really bad to this is really fun. During this segment, I need to Chris Kyle all the zombies off of Grace while she breaks into the church. But on insanity mode, the game drops in a little variation to spice things up. I can probably take out a pistol and shoot this to save a bullet. Might not be necessary, though. What the fuck? What the hell was that? I hear another zombie. Bro. What in God's name? Yeah, not happening. That's a reload if I've ever seen one. Still being in the first half of the game means taking damage is basically a reset. But to counteract that, I used the lesson from the meat grinder section and started picking off the zombies before they spawned in to chase down Grace. But since I forgot to apply that to the zombies behind me, Grace learned the meaning of the phrase, sacrifices must be made. I, of course, made sure to handle my business next time around so I could be a hero that's unburdened by distractions. By the time I joined Grace in the church, it was time for the first mini-boss fight with the bloater from The Last of Us. Unfortunately for him, I'm bloated like 90% of the time because of all the soda and gummy worms that I consume, which meant I was able to mop him up in like 2 minutes flat. I'm gonna huck 2 of this down the stairs. Don't mind me. I think I just gotta shoot the orange. Here. Try that on for taste. Back up here, bud. I don't know if that got him up there. Boom, baby. Oh, you are fucked, man. Whatever, I'll kill him with the axe. Now, while Leon was battling the cordyceps upstairs, Grace took Emily down to the water treatment facility and is about to have the boss fight with that gangly creature from the start of the game. Since this creature is allergic to the sun like the rest of us basement dwellers, my goal is to open up the sunroof and turn her into a charred white turd. To do this, we need to turn on the 3 generators while avoiding the long arms of the subterranean law. The first generator was always an easy one to hit since there was a light I could use to stun her if she ever got close. But the second generator was a little bit trickier because I was getting conflicting information from the chat on what stuns this boss on insanity. Quick note, by the way, I stream these runs on YouTube and Twitch, so stop by if you want to be here for the live fun.
People are saying 1 Molly staggers her. If everyone's so sure that that's the case, I'll just do it. Someone else told me that's not true on my first playthrough. We've got conflicting information. This is what I suspected was the case. A molly and a shot. I don't think that molly missed. Directly on the body, not the arm. The body is... Okay, Monkey, are you committing to a ban? If we confirm a body shot, center mass, right on the goddamn belly button, the umbilical birthmark, I will allow you to wager that. Mayhaps, if I throw that Molotov or it doesn't stun her, I'm gonna be so annoyed. And she moved. That is just fucking awesome.
Okay, so I may be ass, but this has been confirmed by other people as well. 1 Molly and 1 Requiem shot is what you need to stun her. Once all the testing had been completed, I made it back to the upper level with all 3 generators turned on and sent this creature back to the loading screen. This is actually the end of Grace's gameplay for the next few hours, because once Leon totally doesn't shoot the vitals of a mutated Emily, Grace leaves with the fill-ins, and we're back to being Leon as we enter everyone's favorite mammalian named location, Raccoon City. I'm a bit conflicted about this area overall, because despite being one of the most combat-heavy areas in the game, it's surprisingly not too bad. Things start off by reliving an actual nightmare I had watching 8-legged freaks as a child, which is my way of saying we're fighting spiders, man. The first thing to mention here is that Leon does get a full heal when he leaves the city, so I don't technically need to restart when I take damage, but I refuse to accept any from Shelob or her children.
Okay, I think we get hit at this hole. Oh my god, I fucking dodged it. Or I blocked it, Holy smokes, I didn't know if that was actually possible.
Now, the actual boss fight isn't too bad, since I just need to stun lock the boss with these explosive barrels before lighting up that disgusting growth on her sack. This fight being straightforward doesn't mean it's a walk in the park, and I confirmed that after I got myself wedged in a corner and sprayed with spider goo.
I think that spider just shitted on me. I think I reload.
Honestly, the hardest part of this entire boss fight was trying to get my explosives to register and dealing with the boss's iframes during the entrance animations. Once I decided to stop being fancy and I just focused on putting boot to ass, this fight got a lot easier. And it was if I came prepared with 20 liters of bug spray. This first Raccoon City section is centered around finding 3 items that are needed to detonate this gate. This ended up being one of the easiest parts of the whole challenge. That is, if you don't count the fact that I wasted 9 restarts trying to run past enemies with guns in a warehouse before deciding to just slowly kill them all out of frustration. Once I identified all the places I needed to go, I got to work clearing everything out. And by clearing everything out, I mean I was going to avoid every single encounter that wasn't necessary to complete this area. A prime example of this is the bloater in the basement.
Insert this, turn. When he starts coming, we run. We circle, and then we come back. Nope. Could I have kept turning it? Who knows? Not me. God damn it. Whatever. I don't know where the monster is. I'm just gonna see if I can get this all the way. Okay. Oh. I should not have wasted a shotgun shot on that, but hey, we're out of here.
Since I was really flexing my chronically online avoidance abilities, I quite literally didn't die for over an hour. And that's shocking when you think about all the damage that's happening at the gas pumps in Resident Evil 9, and unfortunately in real life. And if you don't count that one random act of violence on the street, things were going to plan.
My plan is to avoid... I don't know where you came from. I hate you.
To avoid any more street-level muggings, I took to the rooftops to get my second detonator piece. But of course, there's zombies firing off mortars up here. So I don't know if this is really a huge improvement, but here we are. Since most of the military zombies have guns and body armor, I took my time taking them out, and when possible, I would shoot the zombies that were on the mortars. I didn't realize though that some of these buildings weren't rated against missiles. Are they not shooting mortars? Is this guy out of juice? Okay, so I need to run it down on that guy. Fuck. Don't stop, can't stop, won't stop. There's another one on a mortar? What the military zombies failed to realize here is that
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
I do mean that literally, since after I grabbed the second detonator piece, I made my way to the third one and proceeded to shoot the glass out from underneath me like 4 times in a row. These types of mistakes are honestly expected when you're 15 hours into a run that will end up having a restart every 3.2 minutes on average by the time I'm done. But with that said, I made it past all the difficult parts that came after the glass windows section almost flawlessly. Now it was time to move on to the next area where Leon will get a full heal. First, I did a quick accounting of my inventory to make sure my ammo was good, and then I took to the streets so I could get into the hardest section of the game. And no, I'm not talking about the on-rails section where you fight those big-ass hyenas and then have a motocross jousting session with Dr. Gideon. The real pain was gonna happen after we re-enter Raccoon City Police Department and Leon has a flash of PTSD. This area is largely a callback and nostalgia-driven ride, but one of the main things that comes back that's relevant to this challenge is Mr. Sex. I thought I was prepared for this fight. What I learned almost immediately is that I wasn't even ready to be a spectator on this fight. That was a lot of damage. Reload. Here's the thing. Since I've already received my complimentary heal, I have no more free life coming my way. And with 3 full boss fights between me and the end of this challenge, this means I need to get out of this fight with at least 50% of my HP remaining, which is easier said than done. Bro, why does it take so long to put your gun back? You have to back up. You can't stay close to this guy. Leon's showing his age here. Not only was 1 or 2 hits a restart, but I was parrying a large number of his attacks and dumping double-digit shots directly into his Grinch-sized heart. And I wasn't even able to get him to stagger after my first 20 tries. Dude, I can't get him to stagger. How is this possible? Dude, I don't understand. That was everything in the kitchen sink at him. One thing that I had to do was sell my fully upgraded bolt-action sniper to afford the axe upgrade that let me block 3 times in a row. But again, the problem was that I couldn't put enough shots on target to even make this guy respect me, let alone take a knee. Oh my god. How close am I to killing him? I have no idea. How? I have no idea. Give me a health bar, you goddamn game. Fighting the super tyrant and dying over and over again was like being beat up by a younger sibling who mysteriously gained the power of Jack's beanstalk and decided to get revenge. Something I ended up doing was swapping around the charms on my guns so the Requiem would have increased firepower across the board, and my tac shotgun would have increased damage at medium range. You know, since close range typically ends in death. That being said, I was learning ways to avoid some of his attacks, such as getting cheek to cheek with him to avoid the perfect spirals he was throwing, or being behind a Cadillac when he goes to hit me with a spear hand. Even though I had failed this fight almost 70 times, I was finally getting to the point where I could survive the relentless onslaught of attacks just long enough to actually make this guy take a knee. Of course, the first time I did that, I was also 1 HP and ended up dying. But hey, it was a sign of progress. And when I'm given a mile, I show off my inch. Wait, I don't think that's how that goes. Anyway, you know what I mean. Don't do that bullshit where you skip the car and hit me.
Thank you. Finally, something not bullshit. Oh, that was close. Don't mind me, reloading my shotgun. Oh, thank fucking God. I think he's close to dead now.
Bastards.
Okay, so he's dead. I have fucking no ammo. Imagine a gun store with no ammo. It's useless.
After some deliberation, I decided 45% health and whatever future ammo I was gonna get should be enough to get me through the next area. But now I'm gonna need to save every ounce of health for the final boss. But before we fight the final boss, there's still a good bit of pain to deal with. And it starts by descending under Raccoon City and infiltrating a facility known as Ark. And of course, this place has a giant, disgusting bioweapon guard, and it did kill me a great deal of times because my aim sucks. But at this point, that's all just salt in the wound.
Bro, I can't hit it! I hate my life. I'm restarting. I'm so bad, bro. It makes me so mad. My own hands. Dude, I'm literally just bad because I'm bad. When you know it's your fault, it's just even more infuriating.
To compensate for my inadequacies, I ended up using the assault rifle since this whole fight is just shoot, move, shoot, move. And once the big weed is burned from the roots up, I get access to the lab and the hardest part of the game officially starts. But first, we clown on Umbrella.
The butthole door, let's go. Yep. You know, it only makes sense that the door that's kind of like a butthole would be guarded by what we could probably call is a really big bush.
Ark can be broken down into 5 sections. Pre-hunk, hunk, post-hunk clarity, grace is alive, and sacrifices must be made. So of course, we start with the hunk trilogy. Pre-hunk is the second easiest section since it's just mainly fighting military men that have set spawns. For example, one stacked nade deals with the first group perfectly.
Did I get him? Hey, you guys all dead over here? Ho 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 ho! Gobi!
The second group is a little bit trickier since you have to crab walk around with a sniper rifle, and if you happen to forget one guy, he'll just light you up from the shadows. But if you're careful, you can actually release a licker to fight them by shooting at this tank. And then when there's only one left, you can clean it up and continue on. Unfortunately, continuing on means it's time to finally face Hunk. And this is the single biggest reset sink in the entire game.
I'm gonna swing right away.
You realize
Okay.
that's such a big... I heard you were so bad.
Well, that didn't work.
In theory, the Hunk fight is pretty easy. You parry his attacks and then riposte with 2 quick attacks or 1 heavy attack when he's staggered. The thing that makes this fight so hard for me is that I have to do it damageless. So one mistake means I have to reset, which happens often since this guy fakes out his attacks constantly.
Oh my god.
Now, after about 15 resets, I realized that my axe only had level 1 damage. So in an attempt to make this fight easier, I went back to the box and did some item management to afford the upgrade. This had one intended consequence that I didn't realize until after the next reset.
Unfortunately, now we have to run back to the boss, which is really annoying.
For your reference, the run back to the autosave location took about 25 seconds from the item box. I timed it. So to show you that my mathematics degree isn't useless, I'm gonna do some arithmetic on this considering we'll be doing the run 80 times. If this run is 25 seconds long and I have to do it 80 times, that's 2,000 seconds. And if I divide that by 60 seconds in a minute, we get 33.33 minutes that I spent running back to Hunk. Hopefully, that explains this.
Go, 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 go! Hide, hide, hide! Dude, it's fucking no way! You cheating little bitch! Oh my god. Fucking hate this.
By the time Hunk is in his 3rd phase, he can pull off so many different combos, all with slightly different indicators. And I'm honestly not sure I even have the reaction time to properly defend against all of these quick stabs.
Don't fuck me around anymore. Dude, I'm getting slow and I'm getting tired. And I'm getting
Target neutral.
to the point where I don't want to play. Oh my god, this is so bad.
Death after death, mauled after mauled. I spent more time here than any one man should, and the margin for error was so low that a win at this point would feel like blind luck. But hey, if I win a jackpot, I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna take that to the bank.
Where did this guy go? Did he run to the other side of the room still? He did. I was gonna throw a nade, but he confused me. Come on, bro. Is this it? Is this it? Oh, brother, suck my dick. Okay, who's coming in next? Oh, they fucking ran in quick, bro. What? Oh! Is there actually an autosave? I think I'm fucked. Oh my god, there was. Thanks.
And just like that, I was finished with Hunk. And that post-Hunk clarity hit like a pile of Benadryl. And now that the Hunk saga was finally over, Leon and Grace link back up and do a daring escape into the lower levels of Ark. This is when I get to pilot Grace for her last section of the game. And honestly, I'm surprised she's even alive.
Well, that was just so ass.
Yeah, I meant I'm surprised she's alive on her own, not when I control her. At this point, Grace's remaining sections are almost entirely done by stealth. There isn't a whole lot of variation here, but you do need to be pretty quick on your feet to get through it alive.
Our only hope is to just run past him. When he goes to turn around, I'm just gonna run in there and grab that acid bottle and try to kill him. Okay, I'm gonna use this to kill him. Got him. Let me equip this. This is how we're gonna kill shit. Grab this. Well, we're dead.
The overall goal here is to get a key that turns the power on and opens a path forward for Leon so we can take over and get things done. But first, Grace needs to make her own path forward before we swap back. Thankfully, Grace brought her Nikes, and with some carefully missed throwables, I'm able to speedrun my way through this entire key section by only taking out the creatures that are literally blocking the path. In fact, Grace and I make such a good team that she does the stealth sections and I do the athletic sections.
I've actually never used BBA. Oh, I can't run through that. I don't need to, though. Whoa. Jesus Christ, who let you guys out of the bin?
After getting into the control room, so Grace can learn about what's actually happening in this facility, I'm thrusted back into Leon's story to begin the final section of the game. First things first, I need to turn on the power so I can take an elevator and leave the lower levels of Ark. This involves killing an absolute mouthful of lickers, which is a lot harder to do when you literally have to avoid any and all damage that comes your way.
Good gosh. There's so many of you guys. Leave me alone. Oh, fuck. And I'm dead.
I actually died a few times in this section trying to kill or escape the lickers without getting hit. Eventually, I decided to try the assault rifle out since nothing else seemed to be working. And I unknowingly found the weapon that will carry me through the rest of the game.
Play super slow and boring. Wait, what? Why did that guy die so fast? What just happened there? What am I holding in my hands? A laser rifle? Is there just some crazy headshot multiplier?
With God's rifle in my hands, I now had a license to legally bifurcate these lickers and flip the switch that I came down here to flip. This meant all that was left was holding out and waiting for the elevator, which for some reason wasn't actually a problem.
Well. Oh. Should have saved. Oh, no. Don't do it. Oh, baby. Fucking SMG God. We literally don't save. This is a permadeath run from here on out.
Okay, don't listen to what I said there. That's not even remotely true, because I still had a whole lot of death coming my way, and every single one of those deaths was gonna happen during the final boss fight. I just want to point out that this fight is avoidable if you pick the bad ending, but that's not what we do here. So I'm locking in a choice I will definitely regret.
I'm gonna confirm it. I'm locking us in to a boss fight that I've only done one time and I don't really remember.
This final fight is broken up into 2 phases, and the first part is undoubtedly the hardest. And a big reason for that is the frequency of the boss's attacks, as well as his ability to close the distance in an instant. Because of the weapon unscope delay, if the boss dashes at me while I'm shooting, Leon will have a genuine brain fart, and I'll have a 50% chance of getting hit. And if you do manage to avoid damage there, Gideon can use his Inspector Gadget Go-Go arm to reach across the map and flick you in the back beam. Now, if you get through that part unmolested, Gideon goes Super Saiyan Blue for a second and comes in with a massive explosion. You're supposed to just run away, but I somehow messed that up like 4 times in a row.
Boom. Oh shit. I got fucking stuck in an animation because I didn't know he was gonna do that. Bro, are you shitting me right now? Run, Leon. Fucking run. Oh my god, bro.
I'll be honest with you, these deaths were definitely my fault, but I was 30 hours deep into this challenge and I had over 420 restarts, so the fatigue had long since set in. That being said, I was slowly starting to figure out this fight, despite my ability to throw constantly.
After like a few seconds, he just jumps at you, so like you just don't have time to really pop him. See? There are a few seconds, but sacrifices must be made, so what do I know? Thank God, we actually blocked that entire combo. Oh my God, that was so close. W delay on Gideon's attack. Don't stab me. Brother, stop. 4 attacks is too many attacks in a fucking Resident Evil boss fight. Oh my God, that attack changes that much? I can't even get away now, bro. I'm too slow. I'm too slow. God damn it, bro. When you're in red health, you can't move.
Not only is this fight extremely hard when you can't heal out of red health, at the boundary of the first and second phase, Gideon pulls out a rocket launcher, which I was dumb enough to try to parry because I thought it would look cool. In reality, you're able to disarm him with a Requiem shot and immediately push him into phase 2 with the rocket. But I didn't exactly do it with a whole lot of health to spare.
Fuck you, bro. How do I use this? Yeah, I shot him in the dick with the rocket. Okay, next phase. Bro, we're starting at 1 fucking HP. This is gonna be so fucking terrible. Oh my God.
Phase 2 is when the stakes were at their highest, because I am literally 1 shot from death at all times, and the only way to avoid damage is to parry. Now, since I can only block a handful of attacks before I need to reload my axe, I needed to alternate between shooting the weak points and making sure my axe was ready to go. I kept running into the problem where I couldn't sharpen my axe quick enough to block the next attack. But after a few more deaths, I realized I could hot swap between my axes instantly, which would give me double the blocks at a moment's notice. 1 attempt after I learned this, I was able to pull off the run of a lifetime.
Swap over here, put on our fractured, fragmented axe. Put on the nade. Throw this, sharpen. Okay, get to work. Okay, put this back on so we can pop the 2 top pimples. No, don't examine, bro. Don't fucking examine. Pop both of the big guys. Okay, or block 2. I can't aim worth shit. Okay, I think it's dead. Wait, is there another? Oh my God, there's another motherfucking bubble. Okay, now it's dead. Oh, I thought there was one more bubble to pop. It might just be this. I can right trigger. Good at that, especially if I don't have to aim. Oh my fucking God. It's over. Fuck this guy. He's dead. First try.
And just like that, my first ever Trifecta challenge in a Resident Evil game is completed. And even if the time played is a lie, because this run literally took me 30 hours, my achievements were earned, and my time in Resident Evil 9 had finally come to a close. Now don't forget to subscribe if you want to be here for the next one, but in the meantime, I'll see you guys later.